Welcome back to this week's episode of SPAR with the Brothers. We are missing our main man, King Peeps, this week. Shout out to King Peeps. But I'm your host, Coach O, for this fourth segment of sports. To my right, I got my main man, Jay Blaze. Jay Blaze, how you feeling tonight?
Hey, separations and preparation. I'm excited to be here with some ordinary men with extraordinary experiences. So let's go.
Okay, all right.
And to my far right, and I say far right, I got my man, Castle King down there. Castle King, how you doing, my friend?
Blessed and highly favored. Mi gente, que lo que? How we doing?
Okay. All right. Well, this week we're going to talk about our revisited topic we did a few weeks ago, and that is with the coronavirus, also known as COVID-19. It is taking over the world, literally. Shutting down markets, sporting events, everything is affecting our daily lives. So getting right into the sports topics of the show, it was a shock yesterday.
Yes.
It came through. It was a trickle-down effect, a domino effect spread throughout all the major sports. Today, as we're filming, they just canceled the NCAA tournament for both men's and women, along with all the spring sports. Okay. So my first question of the night to you, Jay Blaze, is just, have you ever seen anything like this as far as in the sports realm, world realm, and how this virus is really affecting everyone's daily lives?
Coach O, Castle King, I have not. This is kind of mind-numbing to me. I'm trying to make sure it's for real, like for real. But it also kind of give us an idea. The Roman Empire used to kind of rule to say, as long as they have sports and food, people forget about their everyday lives. But now the sports is kind of dissipated and has been taken away from us. Now we're focused on our everyday lives, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but also that coronavirus is literally going viral 24/7. Is everywhere. Someone sneezes now, I'm kind of looking sideways. Someone's coughing almost. I don't know if I want to choke them or run away. This thing is getting out of hand. But one thing and one lesson that people are going to learn, and that they're learning right now, is that there aren't student athletes. These are athletes that are students, and it's going to be a lot of money lost. And this is kind of maybe a glimpse, and I hate to sidetrack. This would be a glimpse of what college will be like if the athlete said, if I don't get enough money, we're not playing.
Right.
Can you imagine that? So if all those people that's pretending, yes, I know they're students, yes, I know they're smart, I'm not taking anything from them, but pay these people like athletes because they're costing you a lot of money, which means they're making you a lot of money.
Correct.
Facts.
Correct. I mean, that's a great point. The revenue from the NCAA March Madness, I'm sure Vegas is taking a licking right now. And that's going to trickle down to all different aspects of life.
Facts.
Castle King, see you down there. What is your take on this? Again, have you seen anything like this? You got New Rochelle on lockdown, Yankees. I'm wearing my Yankees gear. I'll tell you a little bit more about that.
New York.
But, baseball is pretty much delaying the start of the season. The New York Knicks are canceled. The rest of the or suspended the rest of the season for the NBA. So have you seen anything like this?
Never seen it. I mean, this is a once in a lifetime thing. Hopefully it's once in a lifetime. But even though there's been different epidemics going on, this has been something that's, literally changed the world. You got college. I don't know what college students are doing now at home.
They're buying cheap flights. That's what they're doing.
That's something. There's no travel on that either. They're banning travel to Europe. I think
Right.
they did as well. So the sports, Rudy Gobert, he was joking around. He had apologized about that, touching the microphones. He took it as a joke. And lo and behold, him and Donovan Mitchell are coming down with that. So lucky the Knicks, they self-quarantined. They're good, though. But even though on sports itself, it's something incredible that there are no sports, no NBA, no college. And it's just a trickle-down effect. That's something that's very interesting and almost scary for some people. As you were saying, that there's no sports around. What are we focused on? Now all people can do is just focus on this virus and what's to happen.
Yeah.
That's something that's incredible.
Well, Castle King, I guess the Knicks got the memo that the season didn't matter anyhow. That's why they didn't play hard. Shout out to New York Knicks.
Yeah, well, and shout out to our boy New York Knicks for commenting on us.
The new Knicks.
Keep us commenting. The one thing I'll say about this, two things. I have two antidotes. One, the fact is, at the end of the season, Kansas was ranked number 1. So I'm pretty sure we are going to be the national champions. All right,
Number one?
I'll number one. I'll take the Astros
Congrats.
riot, and hey, we're better than the Houston Astros.
Are we certain that the Houston Astros didn't have anything to do with
Hey,
this?
you know what? They may have wanted to calm it down a little bit. We'll talk conspiracy theory later. I do want to say though, just from a sports standpoint, I remember specifically after 9/11, when everything just stopped and the world just stopped. This is the closest thing I've seen to that. Unfortunately, I have a feeling this is going to be around for much, much longer. It took 9/11 about 2 to 3 weeks for things to start getting back into normal. Football games. You remember the Patriots, I think it was Teddy Bruschi running out with the American flag was inspiring to everyone.
Yes.
I was in college at the time. I was a drum major. We changed our entire performances, did a patriotic show. I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. Yeah. It was an amazing time. This, unfortunately, has a completely different feel. This is something that is eerie, just hanging over the American public. So, and really the world right now. So I don't think there's going to be an Olympics.
No way.
I don't think there's going to be a Masters golf tournament coming up. We have to start looking down the calendar and seeing what sporting events are going to be moved, canceled, and checked off. And
golf's probably the only one that I think could possibly go on. Just
I did want to say one thing: women all over the country gonna be seeing their husbands for the first time ever.
Got all undivided attention.
Undivided attention.
Yeah, the
kids gonna know how their dad look now.
there are gonna be no men sitting on the P's for the first weekend of
we'll be struggling with doing the homework.
And again, college basketball is my favorite sport. So just the seeing that, and to your point, Jay Blaze. The student athlete, we're going to see, unfortunately, the revenue. We can talk a little bit more about this in the politics section, but we're going to see a tremendous loss of revenue.
Huge.
And I actually, I think it was Kevin Love today. Shout out to Kevin Love. Pledged $100,000 to the people that work at these sports arenas.
Yes,
those are the little things that are not noticed as far as being hurt. I feel from our Orlando Magic, the people I have friends that work for the organization. They're going to be missing paychecks.
Yes,
they're going to have to figure out how this supplements income. They're going to have to figure out how to pay their rent. How to pay their car notes. So prayers go out to not just the victims that are working through the coronavirus, but the indirect victims that are suffering because of this financially.
Absolutely,
agree.
Absolutely.
All right. Other than that, again, that's going to wrap it up for sports section today.
Yes.
Guys, if you have comments, please comment below. Check us out on all of our platforms. We've got YouTube, SPARwiththebrothers.com, SPAR with the Brothers at Instagram. Plus, we have all of our different podcast platforms wherever you download your podcasts. All right?
SPARDABRO.
Again, stay safe out there, guys, and we'll see you on the next segment.
Thank you so much for joining us again with Spar with the Brothers. We're going into our next topic. Politics. I know politics can get a little hairy right now. We had the president asking us to...
Was that a pun with him?
Pause.
The hair?
Yeah. We had the president asking us to come together as one nation for the coronavirus. Coach O, I'm very interested. I know you're a fan of Donald Trump. I'm very interested in hearing your thoughts just about the political aspect and the landscape.
I'm extremely disappointed in where we are right now. It's clearly evident we're not prepared. It's clearly evident we were blindsided by this when we shouldn't have been. There were people left over from the Obama administration that were in a position to offset the world pandemic epidemics. This budget to the CDC was cut by over $2 billion. The person that was in charge was terminated and not replaced. About 3 weeks ago, when Republican senators grilled the director of Homeland Security, had no idea how many test kits we had. He had no idea how many people were currently infected. And unfortunately, the Trump administration has been playing party politics because they don't want it to affect the nation's economy, which is going down the can right now. And people are dying. People are going to die because of this. First of all, let me take a step back. I must apologize. If you watched our episode a few weeks ago,
28.
I was clowning this epidemic and saying, wait till we get to 1 million. Right now, there's 1 million people who are infected. You just don't know it yet. There's 1 million people who will die from this worldwide. It has a 2% mortality rate. They're expecting over 90 to 150 million people in America alone to contract this virus. So this is something that's serious. This is something that should have been taken seriously over 3 months ago when we first knew about it, when the World Health Organization offered to send America testing kits, and we declined it. Now, unfortunately, we have to go back and see exactly what special interests, what investors are connected to the political parties that delayed this testing kits to come out. When you had the Surgeon General, when you had Ben, I don't even want to say his last name to give him any credit, but the fake surgeon out there trying to talk to the American public and had no idea as far as what was in the pipeline, or he didn't want to say. It is an absolute embarrassment as a world leader that we are not prepared for this. Right now, we're ranked 8th in corona cases, and we have not enough test kits for every American citizen.
Well, Coach O, I definitely can feel your passion and your commitment to this, and well thought of. I appreciate that. Castle King, what do you have to say about this political situation here?
I was right. That's what I got to say, first of all. Hashtag episode 28. Check it if you want to.
Segment 2.
So we got to come back. But anyway, being on this, I mean, it's something we're trying to joke around now just to make light of the situation. But it is something that this pandemic is something incredibly serious. It's something that the world has never seen. The damages that are happening right now politically, I don't really get into much of politics on there, but the economics that we're suffering right now, I mean, there's literally every field is being affected by this. Employees of every asset. People are being sent home from food, toilet paper being gone, which that's another thing. I don't know why. What toilet paper has to do with a cold, we'll get to that.
I don't know.
But just the structure of the economics being hurt, employees being sent home, how are we going to recover from this? I'm not sure how we would even known to have test kits for something that we didn't even know existed at that point in time. So that's, I mean, according to him, if there was someone ready on it, but I think it's something that was planned either way of not being ready. But the fact that people are out there getting injured, as far as getting caught out there, it's hard to even track that down. Right. I mean, to see how many people are infected, we are, I think, as you were saying, 8th on there. I do want to say that the flu killed more people than what's happening now, and we didn't shut down our country. Over 80,000 people died of the flu. And there was nothing in any country being shut down. There was no military authorization, no National Guard going to anywhere. So that strikes me a little bit odd. Yeah. But in the grand scheme of things, how does that affect us on here?
Well, I'm going to say something real briefly, and then I'm going to let Coach O seem like he's
I thought that was a draft in here, but I guess that was his.
It was a draft, but it's actually him just blowing out some.
Yeah.
Going to make some tea. I'm going along with Castle King in the perspective. I'm not even going to assign this to a party because we can play politics. Hey, we should have had better borders and this. It's crazy. I believe it's agenda driven. I do not believe the next time that something comes from nothing will be the first time. We kind of talked about this in SPAR with the Brothers, episode 28, segment number 2, and how I felt about it is that if you see it right now, they're showing you, and I believe this is a dry run, and get your tin hats out and laugh like you did in episode 28 and see in another month for you to kind of throw your shoulders up. But this thing actually shows you how countries can take their entire country back, and they can put in rules, and people will be willing, just like 7-11, I mentioned in the last episode, people will be willing to give up their freedom, they'll be able to give up their amenities, they'll be able to give up their peace of mind, all because of fear. They'll be able to shut down currency and all types of things. And so we also need to pay attention and be focused. And of course, be smart, be safe, make good decisions. Please wipe your butt. If you ain't wiping your butt, wash your hands and protect yourself. But above and beyond thing, when someone taps me on my shoulder, instead of me looking this way, I look the other way because these things are distractions, and there's other things that are coming down the pipeline.
The okie doke.
The old okie doke. So, hey guys, I know I sound like a conspiracy theorist, but we kind of had this conversation about 3 to 4 weeks ago, and voila, we're right here where everyone in every country is kind of giving up their rights and their finances are being affected. If governments can do this in a small spectrum, imagine if something like this happened on the pipeline. Coach, I want to run right back to you because I know you were kind of fired up and you were kind of chomping the bit. What do you have to say?
Yeah, there's just a couple of stats, and Castle King is right. The death rate is very low. More people die from the flu. What hasn't happened, what we have not seen yet, is that the mortality rate. The mortality rate for the flu is, I think, under 1.01%. The mortality rate for this is at 2%. That number jumps up to the 30s to the 40% when you're talking about senior citizens above the age of 70.
Right.
So that's really the target group that we're really concerned about. And again, I say this, I made a joke the other day at work. I'm like, if I get the corona, I don't care. And then one of my coworkers said, hey, but My parents are 81.
Right.
If I get it, I can't go see my parents.
Right.
And I know personally what it's like to be an orphan, to be without both of your parents living. And it's a horrible feeling. I immediately felt embarrassed. I was actually embarrassed that I said something like that, because at that point, the coronavirus got very, very real. And I think that's what we need to recognize.
Yes.
It's not just for the general public. There's a specific population that is going to be hurt by this at a disproportionate level. And I think, by the grace of God, no children have died from coronavirus, which is an amazing fact, right? So that population has been spared. Most young, healthy adults can get through this virus. It is that senior citizen population that is at high risk and is seeing a much more higher mortality rate. And that's what I think our governments are afraid of, because unfortunately, that's where a lot of the wealth is.
And that's why I kind of think that makes me go back to, hey, this had to be engineered. The most vulnerable people, the second most vulnerable people in our societies, our little babies are the most vulnerable people in our society. And then the second most vulnerable people that, need extra care and an assistance are under attack. And it really breaks my heart for people to survive everything from wars to Jim Crow South to all types of car accidents, bad marriages, cancer. And then to die from this is devastating. Coach Castle King, tell us a little bit, and we'll get right back to Coach O.
I mean, I think this is a part two is what you got to look at. If this is agenda driven, if all this has happened, which there's been books, Pale White Horse, there's other books that you can read up that this was already foretold years ago. 1991, Pale White Horse was on there, and that's what you want to start looking at there to see if things that's going on towards the future. Now, this is part two of it, where you're looking at if this is where they're testing to see how people can react. I think the toilet paper thing was to see how many sheep can they get riled up. And that's how everybody reacted. Everybody, they got the fear working. So they're like, all right, we got the sheep awake now. They're ready to follow us on what we're doing. The other test is what they did at New Rochelle, that they could distribute military at a point in time. And nobody rose up and said anything about it. You can take my city and I'm just going to be okay with it. Keep me locked down. And we spoke about this before. That's what the
Castle King, on there. Do you think vaccination is in the future? Is it a danger?
That's the next part of what I was saying. This is where the second part comes in that you're looking at, because this is to test the world to see what they're doing, if they're ready. And then the next part is vaccination, which that's the killer for you. That's going to be the things that, as he was saying, trust scientists, which people have died 80,000 of the flu. You get a flu shot and the flu has not cured anything. There's people taking flu shot who have died from the flu shot. So if you tell me that there was 100% accuracy from any shots that were engineered by scientists, that everyone was absolutely cured from that, then there's a possibility on that. But I'm not going to trust no scientists that all they use are theories, which are not truths. They're just a theory, a thought on there. And in that, watch out for nanotechnology.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm seeing Coach O with the Bill Cosby face, Jello pudding. So I want to figure out what he has to say to us.
No, I mean, and just wrapping this up, I will say the one final thing I'll say is from the mortality rate again. I'm going to go back to that in the senior citizens. Yeah. Right now, I have a friend that works at a nursing home. Nursing homes are on lockdown.
Yes.
You cannot visit if you have a parent in a nursing home in a senior care facility. You cannot visit them. So. There may be people that never see their loved ones again because of this virus. And that's really where, again, my heartstrings were tugged and I had to come to grips. I hate to say a come to Jesus moment about this, where people are kind of teaching this nonchalantly. This is real for a lot of people that are in that demographic.
Well, one thing we learned about this specific segments, Coach will have a lot of friends. But tell us what you think. Thank you for joining us with SPAR with the Brothers. Follow us on Facebook with SPAR with the Brothers, and like and subscribe our YouTube channel. And please comment below. We'd love to hear from you.
Stay safe out there.
Thank you for sticking around for segment 3 of SPAR with the Brothers. We're excited to have you here and watching us. Please subscribe to the channel and give us a comment down below. We'll be happy to interact with you. Also, find us on Facebook. We're SPAR with the Brothers on Facebook. Coach O, Castle King.
Yes, sir.
The coronavirus. We're in the religious segment. This guy has a sacrilegious shirt on. I don't know why he has that on.
Representing the Yankees, my son's team. I was coaching tonight. The official Coach O was coaching tonight. We did not get the victory, but he did go 2 for 2 tonight. So
that means you still Coach O. Right?
Yeah.
Shout out to Manny Fresh, though.
Right.
Shout out to him. So we're really excited about, because we kind of hear things. And when believers or people of faith hear about the coronavirus, some people think of the Bible and things that were foretold of a certain time frame. And some people thinking, just her parents are fancy, and they've been saying Jesus was coming since my grandmother was a baby.
Mm-hmm.
So, Castle King, could you maybe shed some light on this and tell us what you feel about this?
Well, I mean, we spoke before in our previous episode as far as end times of where we're at now. Some people, again, there's some naysayers that agree or disagree. The ones that disagreed, as in the time of Noah. I mean, those people that were naysayers, I believe they drowned. They couldn't swim.
Wow.
But we'll come back to that. I hope you can swim and have a floaty. But so anyway, so we are. I definitely believe we are in the end times. This is definitely proof of it. Before, people were just doing shoulder shrugs until they see that how this one pandemic can literally shut the globe down. It didn't shut a city. It didn't shut a state. It shut down globally, and it's continuously shutting down globally. Affects all employers are sending their employees home. Economically, it's a travesty. A lot of people aren't seeing what the locusts are doing out there. There will be a food shortage on there. So a lot of people aren't talking about that. Or are you preparing for that? Are you preparing for shortages of what's going to happen? That's pestilence. That's also in the Bible of what's happening now. And this is also the segue, besides the fear and the global connection to the one world order.
What?
Okay, and this is where the Antichrist comes out as well. Oh, weird. And then how we're going to get accepted of the mark of the beast. You already heard China talking about the spreading of coronavirus through what? Bills. Money, nominations. So how are we going to get to that? Once that becomes a pandemic global fear, we're all going to lead into the one cashless society. How do you do that? Through the mark of the beast and chipping yourself, and also through the vaccinations. The new vaccinations are not what you think. They're not like how you get a little extra mercury or what they're doing to the kids and causing autism. That is a thing.
Okay, wow.
So it's not just that, but now it's at the next level, which they're not telling what these things are, but it will be nanotechnology. That will believe that nano's in there, and that will change DNAs in people, and that is where the mark of the beast will come from through there. That is the second portion of that. So be very vigilant, prepare, and don't be scared.
Coach O, there is a lot to unpack here, but he did make you repent from last time we did an episode. But I think you have a view, and I know you're a man of faith. So what would he have to say about what Castle King had to say?
And I'll say this again. I do go back a couple of episodes where I did not take this pandemic as seriously because I felt we were being gaslighted by our own government.
Okay. I was right.
I'm sorry. Thank you. But I will say this. If you are listening, please listen to scientists. Please listen to the doctors.
Yes.
This is not something that you're just going to be able to pray away. You cannot touch Kenneth Copeland on the screen, send him $50, and he's going to rid you of the coronavirus. This is not something you can go down to your local pastor. He anoints your head with oil, and he's going to rid you of the coronavirus. This is not something you should potentially be going to your mega church and going up to the altar and praying, because chances are there's 5 to 10% of that population that is already walking around with the coronavirus that doesn't know they have it. So this is something that people need to take seriously. This is something where people need to listen to doctors, listen to scientists. They have your best interest at heart. I know my counterpart on the other side doesn't necessarily believe so, but the reality is this. The only way that we can beat this virus is to be smarter about our daily actions, washing our hands, taking care of ourselves, and understanding that, yes, there are going to need to be changes to our daily lives in order to overcome this pandemic. And then we will get through this just like they got through the Black Plague and other pandemics that hit the human population.
And you forgot to wipe your butt, people. But what I'm hearing from you is that you want people not to be so heavily minded in earthly good. Also have faith, but also listen to what people are telling them so they can be safe. Is that what you're saying?
I mean, yes. It's, it goes back to the simple things as far as when a child is born and they're running a fever because they're teething. Yeah. They tell you to alternate ibuprofen and Tylenol every 3 hours. Those simple instructions are the same instructions that they're giving you now. As far as if you do come down, if you are feeling these symptoms, you need to self-isolate yourself for 14 days. Call your doctor. Let them know that, hey, I'm not feeling well. Go and get tested. Find out if you are a carrier, and then take the necessary precautions from there. I think a lot of people are saying, well, if it happens, I'll just pray about it and the Lord will take it away. That's not the solution. That's not the way we're going to beat this thing.
And Castle King, I know that you have some things to say. And I know you believe in the power of God. So I'm interested in, not to rebut him, but I'm interested in what you think about some of the things he's just said.
As a believer, the number one thing Christ says, trust in the Lord, have faith in the Lord, that he will get you through all that. He got everyone out of Egypt. And through all the struggles that they went through, all the different plagues that they went through, who was the one who not only caused the plagues, led them and freed them from all them plagues on there?
Right.
If you're talking about trust your scientists, these are the same scientists that are giving you flu shots that don't cure flu. The same scientists that, there's no proof in science here. There's none that the scientists have proven that they can cure anything. The Bible has been accurate prior to medicine, even on that the life is through the blood. And that was in the Bible hundreds of years before modern medicine did. If you don't know, that's how they bled out George Washington, because they thought draining his blood would save him. But that's science. He trusted him. Where did that end up? George Washington, our first president, on a dollar bill and dead with wooden teeth.
So you're saying 100 word, follow what they have to say, but 100, your primary thing is belief in the Creator.
If you're a believer, believe in the Creator. As he was talking about the people in your mega churches, you're right. Those are wolf in sheep clothing.
Woo.
And the ones that are getting affected are the lukewarm Christians who are not following the Bible and who are trusting in science rather than trusting the Creator. Those are the ones that are receiving these plagues and injuries on there.
Wow, it seems like we have an impasse here.
I'm not going to say that.
I'm going to recommend a blend.
Follow your faith in the Creator.
Follow your faith in the Creator and wipe your butt. Stay clean. We're interested in what you have to say.
You got toilet paper for sure, so your butt definitely will be clean. All the toilet paper's gone, so you might struggle on that.
Well, we're definitely interested in what you guys have to say. We're interested in what you guys have to say. Please subscribe to our page. Give your comments below. I'm in the middle of what they're saying, literally and figuratively. Thank you for joining SPAR with the Brothers. Check us out on our podcast on all the application, Instagram. Have a great weekend. Stay safe. And even more important, be smart.
Peace out.